we have a function w. It's like, where's Wally? Where's the function? It's right there. So x is a whole number. Okay, interesting. What type of function is this? Something with a fractional power, 2/5. And we're asked to make x the subject. So rearrange for x. All right. So 2/5 as a power. So we call that a fractional power. So the 2, notice that's in the numerator. So it's this x plus 2 squared, right? The 2 in the numerator, that means it's squared. But the 5 in the denominator means it is the 5th root as well. Is this going to work? Come on. It is the 5th root. So x plus 2 squared, and then the 5th root of that. Now, we didn't need to do this step necessarily, but I think it makes it look a bit easier, in that now we know we need to raise both sides of the equation to the power of 5 to eliminate that 5th root. So w to the power of 5 equals x plus 2 squared. Right, so I raise both sides to the power of 5. Now we can square root both sides to get rid of this power of 2. And instead of doing the square root, I'll actually just jump back to the fractional power. So since it's square root, the 2 is in the denominator of the power. And finally, I'll subtract 2 from both sides to get x. And if you wanted, you could write it like that as well, right, with the root symbol instead. Either or is fine. Now part 2. Okay, so we have this function. What x values will the function have a value less than 20? So the function, the output being w, right? You could think of this as like y equals, right? Oh, not. Right, so we have that function. There's certain x values that the output w will be less than 20. If you have no idea where to start, just graph it to see where you're heading. So menu, graph, and then y equals bracket x plus 2 bracket to the power of, now learn from me, use brackets here, 2 divided by 5. Right, that just says that the exponent is 2/5. And then we can hit draw. Interesting. So it kind of looks like a sideways parabola, or 2 sideways parabolas meeting in the middle. We can also exit, graph the line y equals 20. All right, and what that'll do is, it is probably off screen right now, so we'll adjust our window. So F3 will make our y max 21. Draw. And see that line at the top? That's our y value of 21. And it looks like we'll also need to adjust our x value. So let's make that, I don't know, 100 minus 100. See what happens. Still no. Wow. So this might require some playing around. Let's just go absolutely crazy. Yeah, you don't need to be doing this, but if you're stuck and you want to test something out, there we go, look at that. So that horizontal line at the top is 21. So a little bit below that are x values that correspond to a value less than 20. Right, so that's what we're looking for. We could actually hit F5, Gsolve, ISCT for the intersection points. And here it says x is negative 1790, or x is 1786. So when x is between those two values, the function has an output of less than 20. Now let's try it algebraically. So the function x plus 2 to the power of 5/2 must be less than 20. Cool. So just like before, we can rearrange for x, but instead, this time, instead of in terms of w, right, it'll be a number because we put 20 in for w, and instead of equals x, we'll have an inequality. So let's square both sides and then take the fifth root. Oh, wait. Oh, I got it backwards. 2 over 5. Let's raise both sides to the power of 5 and take the square root. And we're left with 20 to the power of 5 and then the square root. And then subtracting 2 from both sides. And if we plug that in on our calculator, menu, run maths, 20 to the power of brackets 5 over 2 minus 2, 1786, 0.85. So we could just round that up. And, oh, I almost forgot. X is a whole number. X is a whole number. So we rounded up to a whole number. And now, could x be negative though? So negative whole number still works. So you could also consider the negative solution as well. But in this case, giving the positive one was fine too.